I have a zero turn. It's a small little zero turn. I'm doing it for a favor for a buddy. So I'm gonna show y'all how to do that. I just picked up the home maintenance kit for this from John Deere. If you're gonna be doing this, I'd highly suggest you get this. It's gonna run you about $65–70 from your nearest John Deere dealership. And first things first, I'm gonna be changing out the air filter. So you just want to pop this open right here. This little piece will come off, and your air filter's right here. This one's pretty old and nasty compared to the new one. And then you're also gonna have this little piece of foam right here that you want to take out, which this takes most of the beating in the filter. So this one's old and this is a new one. And you're gonna want to place the foam side in towards the engine, and then come back on top with the new filter, line it up, and pop that in. Alright, so you're going to want to put the new filter back in place with all the little vanes facing in, like this. Kind of pop it all in, make sure it's all good. And then you're going to want to take the cover, put it back in right here. And just clamp it back down like that. So that's the air filter. Alright, so next up is oil. First you're going to want to take this dipstick out, which you know you should have some oil in it. If you don't, that's an issue. Grab yourself a paper towel real quick. Wipe the end of the dipstick off. And put this off to the side, wherever, doesn't matter, I'm putting it on top. And you're going to want to find this little guy right here. You have to pull the little black nipple out and twist it for the oil to come out, which is a little odd, but it's alright, it's draining. And I got it draining down the funnel into the little pan right here, which is gonna take a little while, but it's alright. Alright, so your spark plug wire is right here, and you're going to want to grab down in here and pull it out, which it'll be kind of difficult too, depending upon how long it's been on there for. There we go, pop it off. With a little bit of difficulty, I have to get a pair of pliers to kind of pry it out. Alright, so let's see. It looks like a 15 maybe? Alright, so this one is a 16 mil. I'm gonna want to grab a ratchet wrench. Like this. Shouldn't be too tight. Shouldn't be too loose either. Alright, so now that you've got it out, you're going to want to get your new one, which this one was looking pretty rough. You can see all that black carbon buildup. That's no good. So I'll get you the new one and show you what that one looks like. So this is the new one. You can tell there's a pretty big difference, and yeah, this one was definitely time for a replacement. Alright, I'm gonna tighten it down as much as I can, hand tight with the socket, and then I'm gonna want to come behind, grab the ratchet wrench and tighten it down all the way until it's good. So on a spark plug, you want it to be snug, but you absolutely do not want to over tighten it. So a little bit more, and that's probably good right there. Then you're going to take your spark plug wire and plug it right back on, and it should snap on. Alright, so now that's on, I'm going to move on to the fuel filter, which is located to the back right of the seat, right here. Alright, so this is the fuel filter right here. So you're going to want to grab some pliers. It doesn't matter if they're, really doesn't matter what they are, as long as they can get these little clips off. So you're going to want to take these little clips and move them out the way. Wiggle them down. And then what I like to do, because these are more than likely like pretty stiff, I like to grab right above the nipple of the filter and kind of twist it a little bit to free it up like that. And once when you feel it get free, just pull it off, which is still is going to be pretty difficult, but it makes it a little bit easier. I'm just going to work it off, even though it's pretty difficult. There we go. Alright. And you're going to have a little bit of gas fall out of here, because this is the fuel pump. Alright. Now, do the same for this. Twist it, kind of until you feel it free like that. Get this filter, this little clip more out the way. Down there. Alright. So, grab above the nipple and just work it until it comes off. Alright. So, now I'm going to grab the new filter. Also, you want to pay attention to which orientation your filter was in. So it was like this, so you're going to want to put this side down and this side up. Alright, put this back in. Alright, so now you got your fuel filter on. By the time you got your fuel filter on and your spark plug in, your oil should be just about finished draining. You see we got a slow little drip right there. So now we're going to go around to the right side of the engine, and you're going to see this little black drum thing right here. And this is called your oil filter. And every time you do an oil change, you need to change this oil filter. So now that we're going to grab one out the box, and every time you change an oil filter, you want to lube up this O-ring right here, this piece of rubber on the outside, with a little piece of engine oil, with a little bit of engine oil. So just rub your finger around the outside like that, and then that's all you need to do. So now we're gonna take the oil filter out. Alright, so I'm gonna go grab the tool, unless I can't unhand tighten it. Alright, so this one came off hand tight. Also, you're going to want to grab another oil pan just in case this one has oil that comes out of it, which it more than likely will. Slide that right under there and just take this off. And yep, you see there's oil coming. So there will be oil inside of the oil filter, so be careful. I'm just gonna go put this in the oil pan with the engine oil for now. So now you can take your lubed up oil filter and screw it right back on. Screw it on. And then get it as tight as you can, hand tight. And that's about good right there. And so now, the final thing to do is to fill up the engine with oil. Alright, so now that you have the bottom part, the drain bolt plugged, and you got your oil filter in, you can fill it up with oil. So if you read right here on the back, it says, so the Z225 and the engine capacity is 1.25, so that's 1 1/4. So this, if you read on the front, should be 1/4. And you usually want to get a funnel for this so you don't make a mess everywhere. I got mine right here. Alright, so now that we've got one in, we're going to want to go slowly when we pour in the second one, so we know that we are not overfilling it. Also, I like to use my old oil pans as a dipstick holder, like that, so you don't get oil everywhere. So let's see if it shows up on the dipstick one, which I don't think it will, but it might. Alright, so it's at the very bottom, I believe. Yes, so it's right below where it needs to be. So we're gonna want to go really slowly with this one. Put a little bit in at a time. Check it every now and then. Small amounts. Actually, we want to be holding the oil can the other way so it's a lot smoother of a stream. So I'd say probably about that much. And you can also check by how much you put on the clear side of the oil can. So we're gonna check it again. So, when doing an oil change, you want to be slightly over the recommended amount because we haven't run it yet and all the oil hasn't distributed it out. So we're going to want to run this and let it idle for, I'd say, a minute, 2 minutes, and then let it sit for about another 5, and then we can check the oil again and adjust. So I will show you where it is now before. So it is slightly higher than where it needs to be. I don't know if you can see that with the light, but I will show you where it's at after. And you know, sometimes you don't need to add more oil, but I'd be willing to bet that we will. So stay tuned. Now we just let it sit for a couple minutes and we'll check it again. Alright, so it's been a couple minutes now and we're gonna see where the oil's at. I ain't got too much of a rag left, but look. Make sure you wipe up all the excess oil off the bottom of the skid plate. Oh, and there you go, it dropped a small amount. You can kind of see that on camera. But I'm going to add a tiny little bit for good measure. And then that'll be a wrap for this one. I already sharpened the blades earlier, which I did not film, unfortunately. So I would love to teach y'all how to do that. Very easy if you have an angle grinder. But I'm just going to add a dash more. That's a wrap for this one. So that's everything. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and go watch some more of my DIY videos and riding videos or whatever you're interested in. But I'll see y'all next time.